Look, you're too kind. You're absolutely... What a nice audience. That's the first time I think they ever finished before me. Good evening. I'm Mr. Carson, your new homeroom teacher. Pay attention, because there's going to be a quiz right after the monologue. Well, you sound good. How are you, Tom?
Very well.
Doc is still not in Cincinnati, recording with the Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra. He's recording the B. Okay. And one other... I forgot the other song he's recording. You mentioned...
Wait a minute.
What was it, guys? Remember?
The Bell song from Lock...
That wasn't what you said last night.
Caprice Viennois.
Caprice Viennois. That's the one. I couldn't remember that. Well, what do we start off with? There was some health news. How about some health news? I've always wanted to start... In the paper today, new study shows that eating oat bran can cut down on your risk of a heart attack. But they also found out that having a heart attack only feels slightly worse than eating oat bran. They come up with something every year. There's fiber now. There's a lot of fiber. It's supposed to do lower, whatever. How many of you saw the picture in the paper the other day from Kennebunkport, Maine, with the president proudly displaying after 3 weeks fishing? Right? More embarrassing news we found out today. It wasn't even a... He had to put a latex nipple on his worm. Wait a minute. I don't need this job. I have a lifetime partnership at Heritage USA. Poor Jim Baker. He was having his problems and stressed out, his doctor said. And Jim Baker is sane, but Jim said he thought that reporters, I'm going to report this accurately, Jim Baker said with antennae. Tongue. Weird. I don't know. That can happen. I mean, we all still thinks he's seeing insects. He woke up, I understand, in a terrible fright, just screaming. Thought he saw a tarantula. One of Tammy's eyelashes. Paper today. New television season, I guess. All waiting for the, reruns for the past couple of months. A lot of crime shows are back in. Robert Loggia, isn't he going to be with us soon?
Yes, sir, he is.
Good actor. He's starring in a show called Mancuso FBI. And Buddy Ebsen, Buddy's getting a little old. He's returning to CBS in the new hard-hitting well, I think probably the most exciting new show is called Coop, starring a former Surgeon General of the United States, C. Everett Koop. Pulls over a bachelor for a surprise wallet search. I don't go out of town with this stuff, folks. This is what you see is what you get. Donald Trump is in the news. You believe it or not, they're developing a new game show. Trump card. Yeah. They're trying to get it on with Donald Trump. And this show apparently is a lot like Wheel of Fortune. But instead of Vanna White, Leona Helmsley comes out and flips a homeless person into the street. And one of the features each week is called the Eviction of the Week. Stands under a tenement window with a bullhorn yelling, "Come on down." It's going to be a great show. One little strange item in the paper today, I don't know if you read about this, but Felix Bloch, you know about him? He was arrested again today after passing Robert Vaughan's Helsinki formula to Russia. 1, 2, 3. What?
I liked it.
Thank you very much, sir. Did you understand it? Up there? Maybe. I might as well explain. The joke, I guess, is only on cable TV. Robert Vaughn does a thing for a hair growth formula from Sweden, who was accused of passing secrets on. So when I said Robert Vaughn, Felix Bloch. We've got to get diagrams for these jokes. There was an interesting article in a magazine called History Today that says King Henry VIII, they finally figured out he died of malnutrition. You know why? Apparently, they found out he ate no food, which apparently gave him wild mood swings, made him crazy enough to break with the Church of England and execute 2 of his wives. He just didn't like being called Hank. Okay. No. Now, how many of you read our Vice President's latest remarks? Dan Quayle, the planet Mars. This is what he said. He says, we've seen pictures where there are canals on Mars, and we believe water. Therefore, there's water, there's oxygen, and we could breathe. Earth calling Dan. Doesn't he remember we sent the probe up there some years ago where they found that there was no life, no organic matter of any kind? Dan says there are canals up there. If you think that's scary, he even said... Well, says Star Wars won't work. Now I'm for it. Oh, what else is happening? Not a hell of a lot. Yorba Linda, California. Is that? Once January 9th to be official holiday, I guess just in the city of Yorba Linda. And do you know why? Richard Nixon's birthday. Belinda have an annual parade to mark his birthday. It's going to start at the corner of 3rd and center of town, then into Laos and Cambodia. Anyway, the Helsinki formula is a thing. We got Jim Fowler. And a gentleman we have booked twice on ago. He was supposed to be with us last night. Nice man. I haven't met Mr. Neschert, but he's been sitting with his invention.
Will he get on tonight?
God, I hope so. Because he's been pigging out on those cheese. That'll kill him in another week if he doesn't get on. Anyway, Mr. Neschert, we think we'll get on with this invention tonight, right?
Hard to tell.
What do you mean, hard to tell? Anyway, stay where you are. We'll be right back.
That was very nice.
Okie dokie. Okay, tonight we have Mr. Jimmy Stewart with us. We have Jim Fowler with some... Oh, I'll tell you one thing he brought. Maybe you saw this on the news. If you usually find this
Miami, I think.
In Miami. There was a snake apparently living under someone's home. And they went down and brought this snake out. Been living under the person's house.
For a long time.
For a long time. And we have that...
I actually going to measure and get an official measurement.
We were going to. He got loose earlier, and we're trying to locate him now. So if you feel something going by, no. Here, and Mr. Walt Neschert, who has been a kind here, religion has been running long, and Walt.
Well, he gets paid, doesn't he, whether he gets on or not?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
He does get paid.
It's a way to make a living, in a sense, if he came here often enough and just hung around.
That's right. We ought to try that sometime. How many of you have seen these things in the papers? I guess they're probably in most major cities. This is Los Angeles Times classified. Herald Examiner also has one, and it's called No Named Personal Property. And it goes on for pages and pages. There must be 10, 15,000 names here. And
well, that would be very interesting to me.
Yes, yes. It says Venezuela received over $90,631. It says over 1.2 million people are owed money. Now, apparently this is money that the government is holding, an unclaimed property, the state controller's office. Bank accounts, stocks, bonds, wages, all waiting to be claimed by the original owner. And they list all of them. Have to do a I guess it probably goes into the state's budget fund or something. Are you familiar with this?
No.
There are actually thousands and thousands of...
Check Carson?
Yeah, just for the fun of it. Apparently, if you look at this, they really don't want people to claim this, because look at the size of the print of the names. This is smaller than a phone book. And to tell you the truth, it's a little... Can I borrow these? Because they're really small. Wow.
Try the bottom part.
Where's the bottom part?
Yeah.
Firmly pushing that oatmeal. Gotta have a good breakfast. You're not far-sighted or nearsighted, are you? You have some kind of strain.
I don't know whatever it is, but I got it.
All right, here's Angelito. Mr. Angelito here? Well, you see, I'm just reading. These are just the A's here. It goes on. A's on this page. Mr. Anwalt? Come on.
Wait a minute.
Walter T. Anwalt? Yes, you see? Well, okay. Anyway, what we have done...
You wouldn't mind giving those back to me, would you?
Excuse me very much.
In case I have to... Snake comes out.
Probably. We sent away, we had the people standing in line, we got your names, by our computer. We sent it to the afternoon by the time you were waiting in line to come into the show, to see if any of you in our studio audience had anything. So let me and see if you're here, and what we found out that is waiting for you. Now, didn't you fill out, did you get some names in the audience?
Yeah.
Okay, we sent these in by computer. You can do this immediately. Yeah. And they faxed this stuff back to us just like that. Dick Parker. You see? You're from Salem, Oregon, right, Dick? Great Aunt Mert. And the nozzle salesman.
Could be valuable.
Marla Kurzban? Or Kurzban. Is that right, Marla? Mark. They say you got $16.50 from your late great-uncle, the evangelist. It's not left over from his ministry. According to the chart here, it fell out of his pants when they were hanging over the chair at the Motel 6. Look, $16.50. Mark, how are you, Mark?
Oh, just wonderful, Jen.
If you're from Chicago, says your friend Tony the shark photographer died. They ought to see you took that. If you go see his widow, she has a partly digested Timex for you. State controllers are not funny. From Roanoke, Virginia. Peggy's here? Yeah. All right, your uncle. Your uncle. uncle. Your uncle, the lonely inventor. Called Honeymoon in a Tube. We have no idea. Apparently, you're a veteran. It seems they owe you 40 years for your appearance in an Army training film called Tom, Dick, and Trouble. Remember that? Remember those service training films?
Remember
where they
those?
Scare you to death?
Yeah.
You have Stephanie King from American government check for $30,000. It's not from the IRS for the 10 years of tax overpayments. It's from HUD for the 10 minutes of consulting. Michael Korf from Marblehead, Mass. Oh, you have a rich uncle. Did you know that? Nope. Well, you do. According to these people, this is a government agency.
Right.
Your rich uncle. And he left you 801 doubloons. No, I'm sorry, that's snoolbods. Left you 801 snoolbods.
No. Whoa.
Jack Gump. Hello, Jack. How are you? From Washington. Well, the Geological Record Institute is thrilled that they found you. You're next in line to be the king of a Central American country. They want you down there in Tuesday to pose for the... Then they want to shoot you. Very unusual. Edith McCaslin from Lakewood. Where is that? Lakewood, Colorado. Your Uncle Nate the inventor died. No, you had the uncle. He's the inventor. He left you the patent and all royalty rights to what he considered his greatest invention. It's a machine to electronically count the creases in a correctly stored fire hose.
Take a sip.
What?
I want to miss the snake.
What do you...
Close with a rock.
Well, sure, he always wants a big...
Blockbuster.
Tim McKelly.
Right here.
Columbus, Ohio. Right, Tim?
Correct.
You've got a $30 rebate coming back. Big Thelma. There was a note attached. The hot Jell-O wasn't extra after all. See, we have to go to a tacky, tasteless one for a big finish. But that's show business. The Helsinki formula. You ever seen it? We'll be right back after this with Jimmy Stewart. Right. I know of no one, either in the entertainment business or out of the entertainment, Stewart. If I read the list of his credits here, how about the Philadelphia story? Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. It's a wonderful life. On and on. He's been doing this for 5 decades. At the age of 81, he's published some of them he's done on this show, called Jimmy Stewart and His Poems. Would you welcome Jimmy Stewart?
Yeah.
Oh, well, no.
Good to see you again.
Yeah.
Now I have to introduce you not only as a...
I'm just so glad that you had me on the show. gives me a chance to thank you. You're really responsible for those things in that book there, because you let me, you know, things that I wrote, there were experiences I had that rhymed. And
Did all the experiences you have in life rhyme?
I sort of talked you into it, and you let me read one. And then you let me read all four of them on this show. I
was reading this afternoon, and I started to laugh about the top staff at the Hotel Hunin is in here.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get to Africa.
Africa, in July. To make those plans.
Yeah.
But we had a wonderful thing. We had our twin daughters, Judy and Kate. Their husbands stayed home because they had to work.
Yeah.
And it's the first time that twins have been close, you know. It's the first time they've been sort of together.
It's been fun.
It just was wonderful.
Jim Fowler is on later, and one of his favorite animals, he's been trying to get me to go where Sigourney Weaver went when they made Gorillas in the Mist to see the big gorillas. But I understand your favorite animal is the elephant, right?
Yep.
Why?
Well, I think the elephant is sort of our dinosaur, the dinosaur of our time. And it has qualities to it. I don't know whether everybody knows, but when a little baby animal is born, the parents don't leave it alone to go off and the parents stay with this child and learn the child how to get food with the trunk.
Yes, it wouldn't be, yeah.
But they teach them how to get food with it. Water and how to drink water. They teach them, and most of the time, it's 2 years before they're sort of let go, and they all go in groups.
Yeah.
And
it's a matriarchal society, isn't it? The old cow, I guess, is cow elephant would be the female elephant. She is really in charge, I guess.
Yeah. And the old ones, they run maybe.
Yeah.
But the old ones, after the time, they sort of go away from the group that they've always been with, and they've grown. And there was one animal that we saw several times up in near Lake Paar, Kenya. And it became a very famous elephant because it had the biggest ivory that they'd seen for years. And they were afraid of the poaching and everything, so they had around while this animal was by himself, you know, just sort of living out his life by himself. When he died, they sort of made something of it in the government of Kenya, and his are in the National Museum.
Yeah, one of the great fears, of course, among the naturalists and conservationists is this poaching that still is going on over there. And they're only taking it basically for the ivory. They go out and they kill, take the tusks. And I think the United States just signed, and some of the other nations have, banning all ivory imports completely, you know, into this country, and they're trying to get other countries, because then they would leave. It's about time they do that.
This is the goal. This is the goal, to ban all sale of ivory. The whole answer to the story, but it's so much the answer that it's a wonderful starting point to get this that has gotten completely out of hand.
Right. Okay, let me take a break here. And we're talking with Jimmy Stewart. You still go out and walk your dogs all the time?
Oh.
In the morning?
Oh, in the evening.
Yeah. Oh, your dog you have now is named Baron, right?
No, Baron.
Baron, yeah.
And we had two. One we lost because of sickness. So Baron, because he doesn't understand going on. So I for the walk.
Yeah. Could it be you're talking a little slowly to the dog, but maybe he doesn't quite. You know, by the time you say, dog is gone.
I'll ask him about it.
He may be confused. Now, for us tonight from the book is one you did here on the show about a dog you had some years ago called Bo, right? The day after you did that poem on the air, I think for the next 3 or 4 days on our offices in the Tonight Show, the phone did not stop ringing. Everybody in the country wanted a copy of that poem. And I understand you're going to do that one from the book tonight, right?
No. Yeah.
Are you? You're going to want to use the book, or do you know what?
Well, where are my specs? Let's see. Unless I had a tennis ball, or. But mostly it didn't come at all. When he was young, he never learned to heel or sit or stay. He did things. Discipline was not. But when you were with him, things sure didn't drag. He'd dig up a rose bush just to spite me, and when I'd grab him, he'd turn and bite. He bit lots of folks from day to day. The delivery boy was his favorite prey. The gas man wouldn't read our man-eater. And on fire, but the story. He survived and the house survived as well. And on evening walks, Gloria took him, and they were always first out the door, the old one, the other dog. But because our bones were sore. And he would charge up the street with Gloria hanging on. What a beautiful. It was still light, and the tourists were out. They created a bit of a stir. But every once in a while, he'd stop in his tracks and, with a frown on his face, look around. Just to make sure that the old one was there to follow him. We're early to bedders in our house. I guess I'm the first to retire. And when I got up and crossed the room, he looks up at me and gets the fire. He knew where the tennis balls were upstairs, and I'd give him one for a while. He'd under the bed with his nose, and but before very long, he tired the ball in no time at all. And there were nights when I'd feel him and lie between us, and I'd pat his head. Stare. He'd be sitting there, and I'd reach out my hand to stroke his hair, and sometimes I'd feel him sigh, and I think I know the reason why. He'd wake up at night and he would have this fear of the dark, of life, of anything. and he'd be glad to have me near. And now he's dead. When I think I feel him climb upon our bed and lie between us, and I pat his head, and there are nights when I think I feel him stare, and I reach out my hand to stroke his hair, but he's not there. So, how I wish that wasn't so. I'll always love a dog named Bo.
I'm glad you did that again. Thank you, Jim. I'm glad you did that. That is a charming book. It's called Jimmy Stewart and His Poems. By who else? Jimmy Stewart. I thank you for coming again tonight. It's always a great pleasure.
Well, it's one.
Oh.
Yes, you started this with me and gave me the chance.
Well, you can just send me some of the royalties. Thank you, Jim. He knows how to read lines, doesn't he?
Oh.
Huh? Wow. Wow. All right, we know. Anything happening? Oh, all righty. What? Oh, yes. Scared me there. I thought the snake was loose already. Some creature is loose here. We'll take a break, and Jim Fowler will be out.
Yes.
Hey, we are back. Jim Fowler has been here many times. Jim Fowler is the host of Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom television series. Tomorrow he'll be appearing at the Feast of the Beast to benefit the Boise. Jim Fowler. Start. Huh?
That's right. This is kind of a... I know you don't like me to bring things out either in sacks or...
Well, you know, you never know.
Yeah. You know, after Jimmy Stewart, a guy who obviously respects all forms of life, in a way, I hate to show because these are not necessarily the most attractive members of the animal.
Well, not everything can be Bambi, you know.
I want to start off with... I got some paper towels. Want to help me wipe this off.
That's a turtle.
I want to show you something that's one of the strangest creatures I've ever seen. And you know, we've...
What is that, a factory second turtle or something?
Could you get a towel back there and help? I wouldn't want to hurt that desk. It's such a nice cover on the desk there. Yeah.
That's the weirdest turtle I've ever seen in my life.
We're tonight, and one of the things I want to tell you about this one is called the mata mata in South America. It lives in the Amazon rainforest.
Doesn't that have to do with kill? Mata?
It means kill. Very superstitious, but the thing is, it's what side neck turtle. The neck comes out of the shell like this, and also it's camouflaged so that the head looks like a leaf. And this is one of the strange forms of diversity.
Where are the eyes on this turtle?
Well, they're very, very far forward. Can you see right there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that little snorkel is the thing it breathes with, but you can put your hand right there.
No. No, you put your hand there.
It has no, yeah, I got a little of that finger missing, but it has no teeth. And the way it catches water, it sucks it in like a vacuum sweeper.
Where, through the mouth?
Right through the mouth, and the fish go right in with the water and then expels it. But
it's not a very attractive turtle, is it?
Not very attractive. It's, but, you know, we on Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, we filmed a lot of these.
Yeah, okay.
And these are, the indents are, we'll just leave him down there.
Now, is there a turtle in that box? I don't, folks.
One of the
I've got a box up here, right?
You'll put the box up. We've got some...
Oh, my God.
Wow. We've got some world records here tonight. And Ed, you... I've got it. This is not... better get that coffee over there if you don't mind, I'm afraid I didn't want to have to bench press this because this is...
What the hell
this is one of the largest turtles in the freshwater in our country. It's called the alligator. In this country, this is the thing you sometimes are with in the southeast around North Florida and there's some fascinating things about it. Let me see if I can get him to open his mouth. Now, Johnny, if you'll over there on the table. Get out of here. No, there's a stick back here. You get that stick, okay? Because I want you to help me show you something here. Don't get too close there. Now, look. The thing I want to show you, it has a fishing lure under the tongue. And if you stand back, whoops, here we go. Wait a minute. Here we go. Ready? Let me go open it. We're not...
How would you like to be skinny dipping in the nude with this one?
What we want to do is see if you can get that tongue. Fascinating to see.
My best here.
Oh, you're doing great. I see you got a long piece of celery there. That's okay.
When I stroke it?
If you just touch the tongue. That's right. That's right. Well, I don't want to, even a turtle like this, I don't want to stress it. Get our point with it.
Okay, I think you have.
This is it. 2, 3, 4. This is the one it pays to have.
Okay, we're going to get rid of that because we're going to come out and
set him over. Yeah.
Stay where you are. Before we get to what we call the top of the line snake tonight.
Well, we've got an example of a
creature.
With you? Well, it's probably... You can always get a seat on a subway if you carry these things around like this. But this is a python.
Your dry cleaners must have a great time.
This is right out... I wanted to show you this because...
This is a python?
It's a python, and one of the most incredible stories...
I love reptiles.
I wouldn't hold it too close to the head. Like this, they bite more rapidly than they do when they're big.
Enough said.
Okay. But the most incredible stories was a story of a python that was in Fort Lauderdale that's been on the news lately.
Right.
Yeah. We've got a little film clip of that.
Let's show the film clip. We got this from WTVJ.
He knew this snake was living
as a pet some years ago. Right there we are.
Oh, there it is.
Wow. This had been living under a house. Knows for sure how long.
Hold on. It could have been 12 to 15 years.
Was this house occupied by people?
It was occupied by family, and the kids had told the adults that they'd seen this thing occasionally, and nobody believed them. Todd Hardwick from a group called Pesky Critters were called to go in there and catch a snake. So we thought of all the places that we should show a big snake. It's your show.
You're going to see this snake that you've just seen on film now live.
Wow. It's never been measured properly, so we're going to
measure it tonight, folks.
We're going to measure it, and if you don't mind helping. Well, here we go.
The turtle's probably more dangerous than this snake, right?
From Pesky Critters.
You dug this thing out from
the one that went in.
Down, I understand.
Took 2 days of tunneling and right into its lair.
I'm going to be the head man and get over here, so we're going to have some help. Todd, if you'll get the other side, okay?
What would be the weight
By the way, Johnny, this is not we're going to have that. If we'll feed it out here, down here, you'll come down with me.
I cannot believe
it. By the way, I'm very concerned not to stress this snake. We want to handle it very carefully. So.
How much would this snake weigh?
Well, it's over 200 pounds. I've never seen one.
All right, let's see if we can stretch. Ed, you hold it on the tail.
Yeah, okay.
I'll
this
run it
is
down
Joe
here.
Wazalewski and John Loris down at the
guys,
tail. Okay. Oh, wait a minute, we got to get the...
Straight to the
We got 20 feet, 2 inches.
Somebody's got to come help on this end. John, go ahead. Can you... Let's try it once again.
Okay, real quick.
All right.
Wait a second.
There we go. Wait a minute. Okay. I don't want to... That's it.
You know, when you had him out here, I had 2 inches.
Okay,
When
well,
you stretched him out before. I don't think we ought to stretch him anymore.
I don't want to anymore.
It's
but
over 20 feet.
the reason we're handling that snake that way is we want to get a good measurement to see one this big.
I've never seen a... What does he eat? How did he live? How did he live under the...
Eating apparently raccoons.
Raccoons.
Raccoons, and
A snake like this.
it's
You got him?
Yes, sir.
This is...
you can help on this if you'd like.
No thanks,
You
Jim.
need a couple of... Anyway,
The strength is incredible,
it
obviously.
is. It really is. And
Guys, thank you very much.
It's very rare.
We have to do this. We're coming right back. Well, we're all out of time.
You did pretty good because before the show we were talking in your office and you said it was about 238.
220?
220.
Never seen a snake that size. Jim has the